What's up, guys? Tyler here, Gaming Hard, and welcome back to more I Must Play Dark Souls. And we are just fixing to head into the Gaping Dragon boss fall. But first we're going to clear a couple of these nuisance enemies. See if we can't get a decent drop. Get something. If nothing else, we'll get souls. Should be one more rat down here. Yeah. That was an accident. Consuming that moss right there. And I probably should have gone and opened the shortcut, but I am pretty confident that we will survive this boss battle. And I'm actually looking on the wrong floor. I was going to pick up the heavy crossbow here, although I don't really see me using it. But I was on the wrong floor. Alright, let's go see what the Gaping Dragon has to offer. That shit is awesome. Although for as cool as the Gaping Dragon looks, really not that tough of a boss. Because the Gaping Dragon isn't incredibly, agile or fast. So it's pretty easy to position yourself along the side and two-hand your weapon and just go to wailing on the Gaping Dragon. And as long as you keep yourself at full health, or pretty close to full health, there is very few attacks at the Gaping Dragon's disposal that can drain all of your life in one hit. And I'm not saying it's not possible to get killed by the Gaping Dragon. It's totally possible. If you come here really early, or even if you're just not leveling, or you're on one of the many subsequent playthroughs, New Game Plus, something like that. It's totally possible to get killed by the Gaping Dragon, but it's pretty easy not to get killed by the Gaping Dragon. How many more times can I say Gaping Dragon? This is probably the most dangerous attack is that attack right there. Where it chomps you up in its teeth. The lower level character, you know, can die instantly there. And if you are not at full health, you can also die instantly. Or damn close to full health. But really, it's a pretty simple boss fight. I mean, you can see the strategy here. Run up alongside the Gaping Dragon. Two-hand for maximum damage and wail away. Pretty easy stuff. I have another video up on the Gaping Dragon from a long time ago. When I used my very first character. I think it was done on New Game Plus though. Should finish it off right here. So that's it, no big deal. Could have done without getting chewed on, but pretty simple stuff. So, of course, the item that we obtained here, the Blighttown key, and its description reads, "Key to Blighttown, from the depths of the undead berg, swallowed by the Gaping Dragon. As its name suggests, Blighttown is a place of great pestilence. Even the polluted inhabitants of the depths are aware of its dangers and built this mighty door in the hopes that they could remain safely separated." So, even those troublemaking hollows that got banned from the berg don't want nothing to do with those dirty fuckers from Blighttown. And, so they made a big-ass door, as opposed to why they didn't make a big-ass wall, I don't know. But instead, they decided to make a big-ass door and have the Gaping Dragon swallow the key. So, you know, it's kind of Bond villain-esque defense tactics, but nevertheless, we've got the key now, and we're going to go ahead and open up the door here. But I do not want to go down into Blighttown without the rusted iron ring. So, we are going to head back to Firelink Shrine.
I'm Donald of Xena. I'm just a peddler of sorts. I adore trinkets and oddities, so I trade for them.
So here's Dunhall of Xena, and he is a merchant, and this is the first time he's appeared. Later on, he will appear under the bridge, where you can pick up a Ring of Sacrifice, where you go to enter the Undead Berg from Firelink Shrine. So he's in that that little bridge. It almost looks like a like an overpass, except it has moss growing on it and stuff like that. It looks like an overpass in Florida. And he sells this crystal shield, and the crystal shield is pretty badass. It reads, "A fully crystallized straight shield. How such a weapon was created is entirely unknown. The crystallization boosts its defense, but makes the shield brittle. it can't be used for long as it cannot be repaired. And the big thing about that is it blocks like 80% of lightning, 80% of fire, it's 100% of physical, and it's a pretty badass shield. He also sells this Armor of the Glorious, Helm of the Wise, Gauntlets of the Vanquisher, and Boots of the Explorer. All decent armor. Some pieces of it, especially the helm, have really good curse resistance.
I'm afraid I don't see anything here.
They're all from Dunhall's native land of Xena. They're all from that area. With the exception of the crystal stuff, which is obviously from the Duke's archives. But as far as the Xena armor goes, we'll call it, since it's kind of a mix-mashed set, it's all really heavy. It's really heavy stuff. The crystal shield is also heavy, but it's like 5 pounds. And although it says that it cannot be repaired, which is true, it still has a durability of 250. So it can be very useful just to have around as a shield that you can whip out in certain situations. Say you're headed into the Valley of the Drakes, or say you're headed into Sin's Fortress and you want that extra lightning defense. It can be very beneficial to use the shield. Or you can just rock it and pretty much run around with it permanently if you don't mind its weight. And you'll get through damn near probably half a playthrough with it. 250 durability actually lasts a while. So, you know, Dunhall, that's just a weird character, man. Because other than him being from Xena, we don't know much about him. And we don't know much about Xena other than Dunhall is from there. And the armor set, they don't really give anything away. Each one is like Helm of the Wise. It's like covered in metals that signify wisdom from Xena. You know, like Armor of the Glorious, covered in metals that signify glory. Like, and that's pretty much it. So if you don't see it, we're bumping vitality, attunement, endurance, and strength. And put actually a couple of points in endurance. So spending them souls like it's payday. So all in all, some interesting stuff, some mysterious stuff from the odd tactics of the denizens of the depths. The odd tactics they employ to shield themselves from the dangers of Blighttown, to the mysterious Dunhall of Xena. Some all-around weird stuff going on here. Now, later on, as I said, Dunhall will be in Firelink Shrine. And after we defeat bosses, he will sell us their armor set. So, you can get Smo's armor, Ornstein's armor, and later on, if you're doing the DLC, you can go and you can get like Artorias' armor from him, which is some really cool shit. And something we might have to look at with this strength build, maybe. Just maybe, or at least check it out. I haven't got to check it out yet. I'm excited to do that at some point. So, heading back to Firelink Shrine. But along the way here, we're going to pick up the Large Ember. And also, we're going to take care of this big-ass rat in the depths here. And get ourselves the Spider Shield, which will be another valuable item to have whenever we get to Blighttown. And I want to go down into Blighttown prepared. That's the big thing. And that's why we're going to be going back for the Rusted Iron Ring before we go there. And I want to have a couple of other tools at our disposal as well, which we'll get to those here within this video and the next. So right here, just before leaving, I was doing one last whack on the rats and see if I could get a drop of humanity. Also the blob, see if I could grab up any more Titanite, be it large Titanite shards or green Titanite shards. But I am not going to bore you guys with frivolous farming, so we will get this back underway here. And I know that it's probably a bit annoying and, you know, a bit tedious to watch me go over the same areas more than once, but, you know, there's just not much of a choice. I mean, of course, I could just go ahead and push straight on into Blighttown, but, you know, I didn't grab the Large Ember. I have to go back anyway, like, and it's better to just kind of tread the same path a couple times over in this game, because just like I talked about in the last video with deaths and things like that, that is how you can really build up some extra souls and start leveling the stats that you want to level and start getting your build working. And that's really also what I'm trying to do here, because I want to have a pretty solid build, or at least a pretty solid concept of a build once I head into Sin's Fortress and start making that trek toward Anna Orlando and, you know, Smolen Ornstein and the Lord Vessel. So it's time to go ahead and get the Large Ember here. And I've thought about it, and we will take this Zweihander up what's known as the standard upgrade path. Take a look at the Large Ember here, and basically, you know, Ember required for weapon ascension, a large, high-quality Ember, handled by the blacksmiths of Astora. And I think that that reference there in the item description is really less about lore and how Astora blacksmiths use these embers. Rather, it's more pretty much about informing the player of, hey, Andre is the blacksmith you need to take this ember to. You know, just in a subtle manner, you know, because they're not going to come write out and tell you, like a lot of games would. Like, you pick up the Ember and it goes, "Take large embers to Andre of Astorga." Flashes on the screen every 15 seconds until you do. Also, we picked up the spider shield here, looks like. It blocks just a tiny bit more fire damage than the heater shield does. It has slightly better fire defense. And of course it has poison resistance, which is great against these rats. Because if you're blocking, your poison meter won't really build too much if they are hitting the spider shield and not you. Because the spider shield has excellent poison resistance. But unlike, like, say, the blood shield, it doesn't actually raise your poison resistance. The shield itself is where the poison resistance is coming from. And unless the enemy is hitting the shield, you don't get the benefits of that resistance. Now, with the blood shield, that's a different story. It actually boosts your bleed resistance, your poison resistance, your curse resistance. Oh, fuck. So as you can see, we've fallen down the waterfall here, and I'm pretty much done saying what I was saying about the spider shield and the blood shield. But, we've fallen down here, so I apologize for this, guys, but we're gonna have to make a little trek back. Although, it's not going to be too big a deal, because I'm not going to rest at a bonfire and respawn any enemies. And we have this shortcut opened up here, so it's going to be a pretty quick trip back. And really, I mean, this isn't even too big of a deal. Doesn't even really need to be done. It's not like this rat is worth a ton of souls or anything. But, you know, I'm a completionist, and I can't leave a mini-boss just sitting there. Even if it is only worth 1,000 souls and a single humanity, you know? And there's a couple of soul items and things down there in that little rat's den anyway. And it just takes a minute or two, so no big deal, although it was an inconvenience. And I thought about editing out the trip back just like it were a death, but, you know. Then you guys would have never got to hear this 2 minutes of commentary of me just bumbling and fumbling until we get back to the action. Plunging attack. That's the end of the rat. There's that 1,000 humanity. Or 1,000. I wish it was 1,000 humanity. There's 1,000 souls and that humanity. Here's some soul items. Rat down there. We're gonna roll over this. Oh, like a boss. This single blob is in my motherfucking way. Move on, dude. Come on. Oh, God, yeah, we gotta go around, huh? Come on, humanity. Daddy needs some new Estus. Ah, no humanity. No humanity for me. Alright, so the last clamor up out of here, I promise. Although, I do have to say, I am tempted to return here and go into Blighttown through the depths, as opposed to going through the Valley of the Drakes like I originally intended. But I still haven't made up my mind on that yet. The thing is when you go in through the Valley of the Drakes, you just have that area, right, between the depths and the other side of Blighttown, that can just get neglected. And there's a few things over there. There's that weird little mini-boss that sucks onto the wall, and there's another bonfire up there, and there's a lot of different items throughout. But you don't have to go over there. You can still get the Firekeeper Soul from Blighttown without going over there, and you can still hook up with Quaylana, farm the worms for Titanite, or slugs, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. Oh, trying to ambush me, huh? Let's get you all piled up and get a nice big swipe. Oh man, this weapon is awesome. I love this Zweihander. And I dare say that I almost like it more, or just as much as the Great Scythe. I definitely like it more than the Bastard Sword, which is what this other character I'm currently playing is wielding. And I'm going through the Duke's archives with him still. Excuse me. But he's doing some pretty good damage. Like 415 damage enchanted Bastard Sword. It's not even +1. Like, I just picked up my first blue Titanite chunk with him and got the way open to the Crystal Cave and all that stuff. But that'll be coming on this playthrough later. And I'm about to go into the DLC with that character, and I'm thinking about recording that trip to the DLC with him. But I haven't really made up my mind on that, because we'll be doing the DLC on this playthrough also. There went a broken straight sword over the edge, out of our lives forever. Bam! Ba-ba-bang! Shit! Fuck it. Pow! Pow-pow! Should we go ahead and pick up that Ring of Sacrifice? What do we got here? Short sword. Yeah, let me take this fucker out. Make our jump back easier. And I'll actually show you guys where Dunhall of Xena will be later on. Just gonna pop down here. pretty inconspicuous place for a merchant. But basically right here, right where you pick up this ring of sacrifice, he'll be sitting next to that little hollowed out corpse or whatever. Man, can't stop yawning.
Oh, hello. I regret meeting you under such compromising circumstances. At least we both made it back unscathed. Incidentally, would you care to learn any sorceries? You're clearly talented, and besides, I owe you. Of course, we will require some materials, but I'm happy to teach you some elementary spells. Are you interested?
Yes.
Splendid. Very well. I am pleased to have a chance to give something back. Well then, let's get started straight away. Have you heard of Big Hat Logan? Master Logan is a great sorcerer and my teacher. Both of us came to this land as undead. But one day he departed, leaving only a note. I suppose he wished to keep me out of harm's way. But where does that leave me? I have dedicated myself to sorcery, but Master Logan could find no use for me. Yes. The note that Master Logan left. It only said he would travel to Anolondo by way of Sen's fortress. I can only guess that he seeks the regal archives. For Master Logan is a tireless pursuer of wisdom. Wisdom trumps all. Everything else is hogwash. When the curse turned him undead, I'm certain that he only felt it was the perfect chance to visit this land. I only wish that I had his courage.
Alright.
2 things are required for sorcery. First, you must equip a wand. Second, you must attune a sorcery. Then you will be ready to fire away. Oh, and don't forget to aim.
So I think that is about all he's going to say, and Griggs has some, although pretty elementary spells, he has some pretty useful spells too, and a couple of spells that you can't really get anywhere else. Fall control and oral decoy. Can only be found with him, and they can be very useful spells. Also, you see he has magic shield, he has soul arrow, great soul arrow, all these different sorceries.
Oh, so you made it out? Yeah, I made it out safely too. I have my pyromancy, the Great Swan, so I can use my magic with a bit of care.
I have mine.
By the way, I can share my spells with you. I think you have a knack for it. All you need are the materials. I'll be pleased to help you. Unless you find the magic's unsavory.
You have to answer no to this question. No, you do not find his magic's unsavory.
Wonderful. I'm sure that they'll be of some use, some assistance. Here, first take this.
And he hooks us up with the pyromancy flame, which is useful. You can trade it to
a flame
Snuggly
from the Great Swamp.
or a red titanite chunk.
You're a fully fledged pyromancer.
Or you can ascend it and trade it for a red titanite slab, but I think we're actually going to put it to use. And as you can see, you can get, even though it's a very simple pyromancy, it is a very useful pyromancy, and it actually does some decent damage. You can pick up combustion for just 500 souls. And I think that's all we'll get for right now. See what else he has to say.
See you safe, as always. Pyromancy is the art of casting fire. Produce flame, then channel it, just as our ancestors did. A pyromancer must be in tune with nature herself. My home, the Great Swamp, is an abundant store of nature. You will understand one day. It only takes time.
So he's just talking about the nature of pyromancy there.
Well, rather primitive aspect to it.
You see
it
what I
messes
did there?
poorly with advanced culture. And pyromancers are considered rather unsavoury. Which is fine, as I never got along with anybody anyway. So, for me, turning undead didn't change a thing.
Excuse me.
A pyromancer's flame is a part of his own body. The flame develops right along with his skill. When I gave you that flame, I gave you a part of myself. Please take good care of him. A pyromancer's flame is a...
Alright, that's all he has to say. So,
Goodbye then.
exhausted his
You better
dialogue
go.
for now. Last but not least,
Don't you ever think to forge your weapons? You'd better find a smith box soon.
he's actually right. Do need to find a
Did
smith
you
box
see
soon.
her? That virtuous little maiden, complete with followers in tow? They're probably going straight to pillage graves. I've heard enough about the lady for a lifetime. What's wrong? Get a bit of a scare out there? No problem. Have a seat and get comfortable. We'll both be hollow before you know it.
Creepy motherfucker. Alright, so it looks like the clerics are here. Let's go, holla. Holla, 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 holla.
Oh, hello. My guests have finally arrived. I will be departing with them shortly. So, I'm afraid I will be saying goodbye soon. It was a pleasure.
Okay, talk to me, dude. Talk to me, dude.
Hello. Miracles, I presume?
Now, I want to talk
An
about it.
undead mission? Regrettably, I cannot share that with you. But you are my pupil. Perhaps if you show your faith.
And he wants a donation. 3,300 souls to be exact. And this was the first time I'd ever seen this. So this was very exciting for me. I was like,
Very
what?
well. I can surely tell you, of all people, undead clerics are given a mission to seek kindling. Kindling is the art of feeding bonfires with humanity. Through kindling, we shall one day be granted magnificent powers.
Okay.
Rhea is the youngest daughter of the good house of Thurland. Those young knights are her old schoolmates, but I'm not sure what to make of them. I'm afraid they may be a bad influence.
Huh, that's interesting.
Rhea is the youngest.
Okay, so that's all he's gonna say.
Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings.
So let's talk to Rhea of Thurland.
You are undead as well. Then we've no time to fraternize. I have my mission and you no doubt have yours. We must not let this curse overcome us. Did I not explain the urgency of our tasks? Or are you so uncouth as to lack such judgment? By the looks of you, I should think not.
And that's all she'll say from here on out.
What have we here? You look awfully raggedy. Times are grim. The least you can do is look sharp. Don't you dare meet my lady like that. You might scare her off for good.
Oh, Jesus, man. Yarp.
Oh, you again. What business have you? I don't suppose we can help, though. It is quite a chore, but I'm stuck with her. And Nico, too. I can't very well abandon them now.
That was an accident. I actually skipped a line of dialogue there. It's my bad.
Oh, it's you. We're to leave momentarily. What can one do?
God
I do hope
Damn
we
it,
meet
I did it again.
Rary or not.
Here, we'll do it right. Say it
It's
again.
you. We're to leave momentarily. The catacombs aren't exactly my idea of a good time, but what can one do? I do hope we meet again, Rary or not.
Oh, that guy got attached to me quick. Can't say I blame him. I'm a striking man. So we're gonna get one part of this build here working pretty quickly, or at least another part of it. Go ahead and head up and see old Andre. Of course, we're going to stop to slam on the 3 most punished hollows of the game. You guys are right here in the middle of the main thoroughfare, man. If you guys would move, you know, 8 feet to the right, your life would be a lot easier if I could just run by you. So head on down here, and we're going to do a few different things down here. Alright, for now, we're going to attune magic weapon. And we're going to pop the Sorcerer's Catalyst in the left hand, so we can buff our main weapon, get that magic damage. But we're going to take the Zweihander up the standard upgrade path. And then just buff it with magic weapon.
Why, that's a fine ember you have there. I could smith some
Whenever
mighty
we want
weapons
to
with
do
one
some
of
extra
those.
damage.
Why not lend it to me?
Andre wants the Large Ember, of course, we're going to give it to him.
Magnificent! You won't be disappointed. I can hardly wait to get started. Most weapons and armor are mighty sturdy indeed, but every hunk of metal has its breaking point. If you notice durability running low, you can ask a blacksmith like myself. The nice thing about weapons,
Yeah.
they never betray you. So pay them a little respect.
So, we do need to get a repair box and a weaponsmith box and even an armorsmith box here pretty soon. We're not going to do it quite just yet. Right now we're going to focus on getting the Zwei upgraded. We're going to get it up to +6. And that way when we come back and get a weaponsmith box, we'll be able to do the rest of our reinforcements up to +10 until we get the very Large Ember. Probably eventually do something with that longsword too. Go ahead and get everything repaired here. That way we're not kicking ourselves in the ass for...
Come get your Neither of us want to see you go.
Not buying an armor smith box while we're here, or a repair box, I should say. Reinforcing our armor ain't gonna do us no good, man, if the shit's broken. So there's the Sorcerer's Catalyst, got that equipped. And, so we've got this going pretty smoothly here. The next thing, we're gonna bump attunement next time we level. And since we need to level, we're going to run down here to the Darkroot Basin and take out this Black Knight, get this other bonfire fired up. And then we will probably call it there, get the Grass Crest Shield while we're down there. And then in the next video, we'll take out the Hydra, get some extra souls, level, attunement, get that pyromancy flame equipped to the right hand and get that combustion attuned. And then we'll be able, rolling around, doing big damage because of that strength. Grab this crystal lizard here, pick up some twinkling titanite. We'll be doing big damage because of that strength. We'll have magic damage because we can buff our weapon with these cool spells we're getting from Griggs. And we'll be doing fire damage from that pyromancy. So you can see what I meant when I said that this build's a little familiar to me, but a little different also. I've done pyromancy before, and I've done an intelligence build. I'm actually working on one right now other than this character, but my intelligence build, I don't use like magic weapon and shit like that. I use all those projectile spells, that soul spear. I use that homing soul mass, shit like that. And I'm about to get to the end of the game with that character, or I'm getting to the end game where I'm going to be getting the end game spells from Logan. God dang, almost dead here. Get a Dipathoda. Dipathoda. But yeah, you can. Surely you guys are beginning to see a plan take shape here. God dang, man. Die, motherfucker. Hell yeah, blue titanite chunk, although I don't think I'm going to be doing too much magic reinforcement. Just be using the magic buff for that magic damage. Grab this Grass Crest Shield. The Grass Crest Shield's okay. It has the lowest defenses of any of the Crest Shields, but it does increase stamina regeneration. So, get this bonfire fired up here, and we're going to call it here. I'll see you guys on the next one. If you like this, like, comment, subscribe. As always, have a good one, and keep on gaming hard.